What's up, desktoppers? In this video, I'm interviewing Tonio Burton, your 212 2021 Indy Pro champion. Now, this video was actually recorded one day out of that victory. I actually thought I'd lost the video. I was intending actually on putting this out prior to that Indy Pro, but thankfully I was actually able to recover it. Tonio Burton went on to win that Indy Pro, so it works out really well that I was actually able to get that interview back as well. Now, we cover a range of topics in this video, from the loss of his brother right through to how he trains and all that sort of stuff. So hope you guys really enjoy this video. It's a really eye-opening one. You get to learn about the man who's gone to the Mr Olympia in 2021 in that 212 class. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any videos that go up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. So hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and today I'm joined by Tonio Burton, your 2019 USA's champion. In what division was it, Tonio?
Light heavy.
Light heavies. And man, you shocked me back then. I actually did a review on that show as well, and I was really surprised at how good you look, because your muscle bellies, even back then, were just dense, hard, round, and I absolutely love that look. It's almost like a Michael Lockett type look. And man, you're making your pro debut this weekend at the Indy Pro in the 212s, and you're struggling to make weight, because this photo that I'll put up on the screen now, you're 218 pounds, looking absolutely enormous. So obviously you're struggling to get down to weight. So man, how are you feeling now, just, a day or two out of your pro debut?
I feel excited about it. It's hard to have the energy right now because I've been on no carbs for about a week and a half. So all those pictures you're seeing, that's a flat look. I'm not carved up or anything. And I don't know, I'm just using the motivation that I have from my kids looking at me, my mom, my younger brother, who would, be happy about this. So I'm just using that to keep me going right now.
Yeah.
So I'm mental right now. I have two boys.
Oh, awesome. That's cool. So how old are they?
11 and 10.
Oh, wow. How old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 29 years old.
Yeah, so you started early, man. That's that's very early. My partner actually did the same thing. She's got two older kids as well. I think they're 13 and some are and 11 or something like that. And we've got two younger kids as well, and they're the same age apart, man. They're only not even a year apart or something like that, or they're about 14 months apart. So I know definitely having kids around that age is pretty.
Yeah.
Even before, like last night, my time, this morning, your time, we was meant to do this interview, and I went into my son and I just crashed out, and then I went, oh, the interview was meant to do, and then I messaged you. So sorry about that, obviously. But man, what was your upbringing like? How did you find bodybuilding? And I suppose you mentioned before the interview as well, you actually was in football and you maybe had a career there before an injury. So let us know firstly, like what your upbringing was like, and then how you found bodybuilding.
So through high school, I played football, ran track. I was, very athletic. And in high school, I ended up having my firstborn. And instead of being able to go straight to college, that was priority. So I stayed back, to support my little dudes. And then once that was on track and I was able to go off to school, I graduated 2009. I didn't go to school till 2014. A lot of doubt. You're too old to try to go play football now. Like, it's too late, let it go. But I always see myself to be something bigger. So I went anyway, and I actually ended up being a starter. I played one season at Feather River College. And after that one season, I had coaches from Idaho, Hawaii, Oregon, so a few D2s all reaching out to me. And it made me not even play the following seasons because they didn't want to risk injury. And I ended up going to Arkansas, playing for Henderson State. And I left school early because an agent named Tyrone reached out to me and was telling me that, my talent was there and I'm getting too old. So you have to weigh the options. So I left and I went to go try out in front of Alonzo Highsmith in Miami, which is a recruiter for Green Bay. Wow. And I remember working out there and running the 40 and hamstring goes. And I pulled my hamstring, and it was the same issue I had in college as well. But at that time I knew like football was just done. And I remember coming back home to Reno, and I went to a local nutrition shop, and he sees me and he goes, you should bodybuild. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting on stage in underwear. Like, no, I'm like, I can't do that. And then my coach now, he see me in the gym and he tells me, yo, you need to bodybuild. Don't let that talent go to waste. Mm-hmm. And so I took the chance and started bodybuilding. My first show was 2018, the NPC Motherload.
So that your first show was 2018. So how long have you been actually like seriously training for bodybuilding?
Well, I've always, worked out. I worked out my whole life, but never a certain way for bodybuilding. I just like lifting heavy. That was my thing.
So you started lifting serious probably what, like 2016, 2015, or like real serious?
Well, not even until after bodybuilding. So after I competed is when I started focusing on lifting as a bodybuilder.
Oh, so only 2018. So a couple of years ago.
So that was like my start for, okay, I'm going to be a bodybuilder right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it was funny too. So, because I had a few friends who were also doing it, and them approaching me, telling me to do it. So I actually jumped in. I was like, all right, let's do it. And my coach at that time, he told me, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Work out and keep doing what you're doing. My diet was in and out for my first show. Like every week I was eating in and out. And I ended up coming in taking an overall. And then the promoter for Motherload sent me to Vancouver for a pro amateur show. And at this show, I didn't know it qualifies you for a pro card. So we go, and I end up getting third place my second show at a national show. And the promoter was like, you can't do no more local shows. It's time to expand, and get your pro card. So I did Samson in 2019, and then Samson paid my way for USA's. And that's when I took the light heavyweight division.
So you started training serious after you did your first bodybuilding show, which is totally reverse to what most people do. They train serious for a couple of years, then do a bodybuilding show. But obviously, through training for football and all that sort of stuff in the past, it sort of set you up, I suppose, and you had a bit of a base. So how big were you when you were, I suppose, like near the end of, I suppose, you playing football?
The heaviest I was playing football, I got to 205.
205. Were you lean at 205 or?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're 218 now, and you're struggling to get down to that 212. Yeah. Now, obviously, this might be sort of like a one and done year on 212 for you, because obviously your body just wants to grow. Do you imagine yourself after this year moving to the open class?
Yeah. So that was the original plan, was to go open, but I respect the sport too much to just try to jump in with the mass monsters. So, I'll start with 212, see where I line up with guys, but then seeing this weight cut or this prep so hard, like mentally I've been struggling, and I just haven't been there at all. So it's been rough to try to cut down the 212.
Yeah. The good thing is you're looking absolutely awesome. And it's actually funny because you pulled sort of a tough lineup in that 212s. There's some really good competitors. There's obviously yourself. There's John Jewett. There's Noel Adami. There's a bunch of other guys as well, Samir Trudy. So you sort of got the hard end of the stick, really pulling a really tough lineup. But it really, if you can do well in this lineup, it really shows that you're legitimate in that 212 class and you're looking phenomenal. So what's your goal for this contest? Now, everyone wants to win, obviously, but what would you sort of be happy with?
I'm happy with just being able to stand up with those guys. And if I can hold my own with them, that shows a lot as well, as it being my pro debut. I know everyone's going to be conditioned. Everyone puts in the work for it. But I think shows are based off more than just conditioning and more than just size. It's a full package type of sport. And so I see myself coming in top 5.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm definitely picking you up in my top 5 for sure when I do my prediction show. But you mentioned as well before the interview, your brother, he passed away a few years ago. You went through a bit with that. Was that before or after you started bodybuilding? And let us know about the whole situation as well.
It was actually right around the same time. I want to say I was already pro when this was going. I was getting ready for USA's, and I remember him getting out. So he got out of prison and told me how he wanted to change his life. And I was actually getting ready to work corrections. And I told him, you could move in with me and we'll figure it out that way. And he just was just so caught up with the wrong people that he seen that as his family. And I remember I was at my friend's house, I get a phone call, and someone's telling me, "Hey, your brother passed away." What are you talking about? Like, this lawyer knows my dad and called my dad to let him know that your brother passed away. So I go on the internet, I'm searching for it, I can't find anything. And then I called a few friends and they heard the same thing. So I called my mom, and I think this is what made me hurt the most is when I called her, she didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
And I told her, no, everyone's telling me it happened at Paradise Park, and she didn't want to believe it. She kept saying, nah, he'll call me in a little, he'll call me. And I remember going to where they said it happened at, and I seen the police there. And when I walked up to ask them what happened, they said they couldn't tell me. And I told them it's my little brother, and they asked for a name. When I gave his name, they just shook their head at me. And I remember just losing all my...
It's all right, man. Take your time.
I couldn't move. Couldn't believe it. And I had so much hate and so much animosity in my heart for the people who did it that I forgot about everything. I didn't go around family. I didn't go around my kids. I couldn't. And I remember seeing my mom after that, and her weighing probably 130, 140 pounds. And after it happened, just to see her lose so much weight, fall into double digits. You started seeing her cheekbones and just ribs and everything. She looked so sick. I couldn't go around her no more. So I abandoned my family for a little bit. And I think me working out is what stopped me from doing stupid things and was able to get my mind right to be able to go back around my family and just remember my little brother telling me, and he would brag to people about how big his older brother was and how he wanted to be big just like me as well. So I think that's another thing that made me keep going.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Now, of course, here my mom says how proud she is, and my kids, how happy they are. My little nephews and nieces calling me a superhero, and they want to be big like me when they get older. So that's my motivation right there. Everything I do from this point on is for them.
Man, thanks for sharing that story, because that's obviously something that's still, it's not like it happened 10 years ago, and even if it did, it'd still be tough to sort of talk about. It's obviously, it is a recent sort of thing, because even though you might say, oh, it was 2 years ago, whenever it was exactly, it doesn't feel like that to when you're so close to it and when you've had that experience of, going to the scene and all that sort of stuff. So, man, so thanks so much for sharing that, because that's tough. But it seems like as you was telling that story, as he's finishing near the end, it seems like there's almost like a happy ending out of all of it as well. It was tragic as the situation is, because, man, I can't imagine being in that sort of same situation. But it's actually funny. I interviewed James Hollingshead the other day. I'm not sure if this will go up before it or if that will go up first. And he actually talked a lot about succeeding in bodybuilding, and he's been his most successful through the loss of his mum last year, and also his training partner, Luke Sando. And he mentioned that, and we discussed why maybe he was more successful in bodybuilding through those tough times. It seems like it's the same thing for you, man. Like, do you use that almost as a driving force in a way for your bodybuilding?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like when I'm working out and I'm getting ready to hit a heavy set, those are your dangerous sets right there. I always say a prayer in my head, and then I call on my little brother, my best friend who passed away on Father's Day, actually. So a couple of weeks before my little brother, and I call on them. So so I say my prayers and I say their names. I'm saying, I'm calling on you, and then I'll do my set. And I feel like that's it gives me extra push, extra strength I need to finish that set.
Yeah, for sure. And like from what I've seen in your training videos that you put up, like I remember seeing videos of you like lunging, you got no shirt on. Man, I would never wear no shirt when I'm doing lunges because my upper body looks so flat, but you've still got those round, full, crazy muscle bellies. And you train with like a certain amount of aggression, it seems like. It seems like you do train really hard. You do the heavy compound lifts with all the free weights and stuff. Is that sort of something that you've sort of, I suppose, maybe learned growing up, or is there just something inside that you just like know instinctively that's the way you need to train to put on the amount of mass you have?
Well, when I first started working out, I would watch CT Fletcher. So
Man, I
I
was
would,
literally going to say, I'm like, you actually remind me of like CT Fletcher. Like that is like in my head, I was thinking that, but I didn't want it to be like a racist being like, because he's black, you're black or anything like that. So I didn't want to say it.
yeah, I would watch his videos, and whatever I see him do, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to the gym to do that.
That's
And
so
so
like,
I
you
think a lot of my
remind me.
lifting style came from that.
That's cool. That's really cool. So obviously, 212s this year. It seems like it's probably going to be a last year of doing 212s. But I assume if you qualify for the Olympia, you will go and do the 212 Olympia, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Do you have more shows planned after this Indy Pro, or is it wait and see how Indy goes?
It's kind of both. Even if I was to take Indy, I would still want to do probably Vancouver or even Tampa. Even I don't know. Like the way I see it, like I know top 5 for the Olympia, they don't have to requalify, right? But even if that's my case, I think I will still go throughout the year competing, just because people want to see you more than once. They don't want to have to wait till the end of the year to see you again. So why not let them see you multiple times?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So,
Would you do the New York Pro next weekend?
no, I wanted to do New York, but just didn't work out the way I would want it to. So no New York Pro.
Ah, damn. Well, at least we're going to be able to see you at the Indy Pro, man. And I cannot wait to see you make your pro debut because you're looking absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be a battle, obviously, between you, John Jewett, all the other dudes up in that 212s. And I'm super, super excited for it. So, do you have any sponsors or anyone you want to thank in particular before we wrap this up?
Yeah. So my coach, Mike Courtney, he's I don't know how he does it. He's a genius with this because I question it sometimes and I get stressed out, but he figures it out. I don't know. So I just trust the process. And then Titan Nutrition, they talked to me once or twice. And then ever since then, when they signed me, it's just been perfect. So I appreciate them for the supplements and Mike for getting me ready for this show.
Awesome. And I'll put your Instagram name up on the screen now as well so people can follow you on there as well, because I imagine you're going to get a ton more followers after you compete this weekend. And hopefully, you'll be competing at the Olympia this year. I'd absolutely love to see that, man, because you've got a physique that is unique. You've got those crazy muscle bellies that is super rare and sort of a genetic thing, but you've been able to build them up to a level where obviously you are more than pro standard. So can't wait to see it, man. So make sure you guys tune in, subscribe, hit the notification bell button on this channel. You'll be able to follow all my coverage of the 2021 Indy Pro this weekend. So for Xavier Wills, Tonio Burton, we are out.
Nice.